These are two images of UFO craft. The left image was photographed by an unknown photographer in 1989-1990 over Petit Roshan, Belgium. The right image is an artist's impression of what witnesses observed and reported by World UFO Photo and News. Both crafts are triangular in shape. They both have lights, and both were reported to be silent. One infers that since they are hovering above ground silently, that their propulsion does not use thrust, as thrust causes immense amount of noise. Just witness the rocket launches. And therefore, the only solution to this is that this propulsion is that they are using some kind of gravity modification technology. Note that the gravity modification technology is to hover above ground and not interstellar propulsion. Why do I say this? In my 2013 paper published in the Journal of Modern Physics, New Evidence, Conditions, Instruments and Experiments for Gravitational Theories, I showed that an Alcubierre type warp drive cannot exist because exotic matter leads to perpetual motion machines, and therefore exotic matter cannot exist. From this, we know that gravity modification and interstellar propulsion are two different physics. I have solved the gravity modification physics. Now we need to solve the interstellar propulsion physics. Hi, I'm Ben Solomon, founder of the Xodus One Foundation. Imagine if we could build such a craft by the year 2040 with our own physics. I completed the 12-year study into the physics and technology of gravity modification titled An Introduction to Gravity Modification, and made two groundbreaking discoveries. First, non-inertial fields. Gravitational, mechanical acceleration, and electromagnetic acceleration are all governed by non-inertial fields. It's described in the book. And second, G is equal to tau c squared. This is the formula for gravitational acceleration that does not have the mass of the planet or the star. And therefore, it is the new propulsion equation and force field equation. And therefore, I can say that these crafts use gravity modification. They obey the formula G is equal to tau c squared. The power of this new physics is demonstrated by the derivation of the solution to Lathwaite's big wheel experiment. Lathwaite rotated a spinning 50-pound wheel about himself with ease as if it was weightless. In the 40 years since this demonstration, nobody using classical mechanics has been able to derive a formula that matches the observations. Using knife fields, the solution to the acceleration is spin times rotation times the square root of the hypotenuse formed by the spin and rotation. This tells us that acceleration is both upwards or downwards depending on the sense of the rotation and spin. The non-inertia field also explains how electron experiences force in a magnetic field. In this illustration, this is the electron moving in a magnetic field, and what happens is that the magnetic field and the electric field come together to form a non-inertia field, and this non-inertia field causes the electron to observe a force in this direction, so the electron rotates. What this model, this knife field model approach tells us also is that the electron's orientation in the magnetic field is frozen. That means what's happening is that the electron is actually moving like this. It is not moving like this. And that is something that quantum theory has not been able to tell us. Can we do this type of new discoveries for interstellar propulsion? Yes. The new physics of gravity modification informs us that this is definitely possible, that there are still new physical laws and new formulae waiting to be discovered. But wait a minute, isn't our physics correct? Well, the latest issue of Scientific American, May 2014, has an article in it titled Supersymmetry, A Crisis in Physics. And the authors from Fermilab and Caltech and CERN make the case for the need for new physics because there is a very large possibility that supersymmetry is wrong. And therefore, I ask you to read this article and to see for yourself why we need to change the physics if we are to build commercial interstellar propulsion engines. I therefore invite you to participate in the discovery of the new physics of interstellar propulsion through this KickStarter project, Ground Zero of Interstellar Propulsion. This is Ground Zero. I am very eager to see the results of these experiments. And I should say, I know what the outcomes will be because I have done the numerical modeling. And if I am correct, the outcomes will surprise all of us. I thank you for participating in this KickStarter project, Ground Zero of Interstellar Propulsion.